Hello my friends, happy new year. Welcome back to another video. Today's video is going to be the first TBR of 2023. These are all the books that I want to read in the first month of the year. I am so pumped for a new year. I've talked about it before. I just love fresh starts and I'm excited to share with you what I'm hoping to read. By the way, if you're new here, my name is Laura and we talk about books and stuff here. So if that sounds good to you, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button if you enjoyed this video, and let's get into it. Here's what I want to read. Now, I do have quite the ambitious TBR for January. I really want to capitalize on the motivation that I currently have for reading, so I'm gonna do that. First up is probably the book that I'm most excited for. That is the first of Brandon Sanderson's secret projects. I guess I can go ahead and say the name of it. It is Tress of the Emerald Sea. This is going to be my first read of 2023 and I'm very excited about it. I know it's going to be amazing. It's Brandon Sanderson. I really wanted to start the year off with a bang, and by bang I mean 5-star read, so I'm really hoping that this is going to be my 5-star read for the first of the year. We'll see. Next up on the list we have Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. I'm going to be reading this in anticipation of Hellbent, which is the second book in the series. So it has been quite a number of years since I read this. I think I read this back in 2019 when it came out. Is that when it came out? 2019. I remember it taking me forever to get through this book because I just wasn't into it, but by the time I got to the end I absolutely loved it. So I'm excited to see upon reread how I feel about this. Is it going to be easier to get into? Am I going to enjoy it more or less? I don't know, but I'm excited to give it a read. This is a dark academia contemporary fantasy. We're following Galaxy Stern, who has the ability to see ghosts, and because of this special talent is used to moderate the secret societies at Yale University. I really liked the main character Alex and I'm excited to see what happens in Hellbent. So we'll be rereading Ninth House and then reading Hellbent when that comes out on the 10th, and I'm very excited about it. Okay, I do have some repeats from my TBR from December that I just didn't get to. I read a grand total of like 3 books in the month of December, so did not get to everything I wanted to, but I still want to read them. So Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldree. I do really want to read this. Beautiful, cozy sounding fantasy, all about Viv, an orc who wants to hang up her sword for the last time and open up a coffee shop. And I've just heard nothing but amazing, beautiful things about this, so I cannot wait to give it a read and have a nice little cozy time doing it. Another one that was on the December TBR is Dead Dead Girls by Nekesa Afia. I do want to read this. I'm going to be doing the Buzzword Reading Challenge this year that is created by Kayla from Books and Lala. I'll leave her announcement video link down below so you can check it out. The buzzwords for January is life and death. I don't have anything that's like specifically life or death on my TBR. Dead Dead Girls is the closest I have, so I'm going to go with this one for that prompt and hopefully really enjoy it. It's set in 1920s New York. It is a mystery, murder mystery, possibly. I'm very excited to give it a read and see how it goes. And then the last one I have is The Atlas Paradox, because I still have not read this yet. I cannot believe I haven't read it yet, but I have it. So this will probably be like the second book I pick up in the month. I swear I'm going to do it. I'm going to read this book. This is the sequel to the Atlas 6, which is one of my favorite books of 2022, which I'm very excited to talk about soon. So naturally I'm very excited for the Atlas Paradox. It's one of my most anticipated reads of the year and I just didn't get to it when it came out, so I really need to prioritize this month. I'm also trying to get started on some of my goals early on in the year, so I put a translated work on this list. This is The Traveling Cat Chronicles by Hiro Arakawa. I saw this going around earlier. Oh, that's really washed out. I saw this going around before on BookTube and it just looked so cute and cozy. I don't even really remember what it's about. I think it's about a man who is unable to take care of his cat anymore, and so like he goes on this journey to find someone to take his cat. I don't know, but this is translated from the Japanese by Philip Gabriel, so I will be able to check off my first translated work for the year, which is exciting, and we'll see how this one goes. I mean, it has a cat in it. I love cats. I think we should be good. And then I'm also putting a nonfiction on this list because, once again, it's another one of my goals to read nonfiction this year. I'm going to be reading Been There, Done That by Rachel Feltman. This is a rousing history of sex. I have the audiobook for it, so that's how I'm gonna be reading it. But this says it's a rollicking, myth-busting history of sex that moves from historical attempts at birth control to Hildegard von Bingen's treatise on the female orgasm, demystifying plenty of urban legends along the way. It sounds interesting. I've actually owned this since it came out back in like May of last year and just never gave it a read, so I will finally be giving it a read this month. Okay, and then the last few things that I have on my list is finishing out some series. So first I have The Queen of Sorrow by Sarah Beth Durst, which is the third and final book in the Queens of Renthia series. I talked about it in my 2023 goals video. If you haven't seen that, I'll link it down below. But basically, my plan for this year is to binge read series. However, I'm not going to be rereading the first two books in the series. I remember distinctly everything that happened in here, and before that memory fades, I do want to go ahead and finish out the series. So I'm just going to read the last book in this series. I really don't think it was that long ago that I read the second book. I'm pretty sure it was close to the end of the year. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that I read it. I have very vivid memories of it, so it couldn't have been that long ago. But I do really enjoy the series. I really enjoy Sarah Beth Durst's writing, and I really love this setting more than anything else in here. It takes place in this forest where people live in not so harmony with these spirits. These spirits absolutely hate humans and want nothing more than to destroy them. And the only thing that stops them is the power of a queen who is able to control these spirits and keep them from harming other people. Lots of things have happened so far in the series, and I'm very excited to see how it concludes. So speaking of binging series, I'm hoping to do like one series per month, maybe more. We'll see, but the first series I'm planning on binging and vlogging is the Great Coat series by Sebastian de Castell. So I will be rereading Traitor's Blade because I do not remember anything that happened in this first book. I do remember really enjoying it. I gave it 5 stars and it was a contender for like my favorites of the year I read it. But other than that, I cannot remember plot-wise what took place. So I'm very excited to reread this and then immediately continue on with the series. The second book is Tyrant's Throne. Nope, that's the fourth book. The second book is Knight's Shadow. The third book is Saint's Blood. And then the fourth book is Tyrant's Throne. So I am going to be reading all 4 of these, vlogging my experience. I think it'll be a good time. I remember really enjoying like the humor and the dialogue and interactions between characters in the first book, so I'm excited to see if that continues on throughout the series, and hopefully you guys will enjoy watching that. So excited to, you know, to get my first one out of the way so early. All right, my friends, that is it. Those are all the books that I plan to read in the month of January 2023. Let me know what you're planning to read this month. How are you starting off the new year with your reading? Are you someone who likes to guarantee as much as you possibly can that you'll get a 5-star book for the first book you read, or does it not matter that much to you? Let me know in the comments. You know I love hearing from you, but that is going to be it from me today. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys!